Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Adam Deardurff, and I'm here to talk about maximizing the value of your UX team in Scrum. Um, like Mike said, I'm a UX coach and consultant at Insight, where I work with enterprise UX teams, and I see a lot of issues with the way they work in Agile, the work in silos that they do, how they're spread thin across teams, and how the impact of UX really can't be realized when they're handcuffed by those constraints. And a lot of it becomes an output based methodology where teams come to them and they need something, whether it's just wireframes or personas or designs. It's not based on outcomes. And the good news is that Scrum's also not based on outputs. It's about delivering the highest possible value. And that's something that user experience practitioners are really good at, whether you're on the research or design side. Understanding how your product impacts people is amazing. And so in an ideal world, UXers would be embedded on the team, but we know that their attention in reality spread across multiple teams. So I want to spend this time telling you 5 ways to maximize that value with your Scrum team. So number one is investing in the product owner and UX relationship, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. The first thing that I tell people is get close to your product owner. And that's because UX and product owners have a very symbiotic relationship for defining that product strategy and value. So how many times do you expect the product owner to just come up with a product vision on their own and pull a rabbit out of their hat when really they can use the UX as their partner? And really that comes through refinement. How UXers are used in refinement, not just by looking through the backlog and saying, oh, this is more important than this, but by breaking down complex problems in the way that only UXers can. And that's by taking an idea and understanding if it's good, if it's valuable, and if it's good and valuable right now, to bring that to life and pull it into the sprints. And that might be in a number of different ways. It may be through a conversation, but it also might be through activities where you're understanding and aligning people against the problem, whether those are design thinking exercises, design sprints, usability tests. Really, it's all about learning and breaking down that complexity of what value is and what the users need, and then visualizing that and validating what the end product is. We have powerful tools to visualize and prototype and test even with Wizard of Oz testing interfaces that are audio. The third is investing in team skills. So all of the great skills that UXers have and they apply to their products, those can be shared, especially if your attention's split across teams. Figuring out how you can shift the maturity of the skills you have to the team, not saying that you're giving up your job or you're not going to be needed, but if you can teach someone how to story map or conduct good interviews, write surveys, conduct accessibility audits, and even design fundamentals where they're bringing the solution to you, that's a win. And then those solutions, we want to make sure we're part of validating quality on those teams. And it's not about checking the boxes and making sure it's up to spec, but it's about meeting a definition of done. And so user experience should be part of that quality of a product as it goes to production. And that means not just meeting style requirements, but meeting accessibility requirements and making sure it's user tested and trackable. And then last but not least, always create a transparent working agreement and inspect and adapt it. When you're spread across teams, you aren't going to be able to be at all of the meetings. You aren't going to be able uh, to meet all of their needs all the time. So you need to establish why you're working together and what the expectations are, how fast you can expect things, what to do when you're gone, and how you'll adjust those expectations over time. Inspecting and adapting all working agreements is really important. So it's transparent to your product owner and the team. They understand what you're delivering and why you're delivering it. And so set up cycles to review that often. And that's a lot of stuff. So how do I begin? Here are a couple quick things you can do, starting with scheduling a one-on-one with the product owner and starting to build that personal relationship. And at the end, really prioritizing meetings based on value because you're not going to have time to be in all of the agile ceremonies. So that's a tip of the iceberg for UX and Scrum and how you can get more value out of those relationships. Feel free to connect and reach out if you have questions or want to dig in more. Thank you.